Hi, I'm Daniel Lucas, and welcome to Book 101 Review. Book 101 is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. He is the nation's number one commercial real estate deal maker, best-selling author, real estate investor, and mentor and fund manager. No other than Miss Cherif Medawar.
Hi.
Welcome, Mr. Sharif on Book 101 Review. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
Thank you. So my name is Cherif Medawar. I do real estate. I'm a real estate investor, real estate fund manager, and I've been an author and an educator. I have a training company for 25 years, training people to do commercial real estate mainly.
Yes, and thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Mr. Sharif. Thank you. Yes, we celebrate you here on Book 101 Review
Thank
for
you.
giving us your knowledge and wisdom. And today, let's talk about your blue ocean opportunities in real commercial real estate. So
Yes.
the blue ocean metaphor is central. How do you define the true blue ocean opportunity in commercial real estate? Is it more about unmet tenant need or unused asset type or completely a new value proposition?
Okay, it's really about how to approach a specific type of commercial properties in a very unique way and make the most money to receive steady cash flow for the rest of your life. And I call it blue ocean, if I may,
Mhm. Go
because
ahead.
there is no competition in it. Everybody wants to talk about apartment buildings and source facilities, but they miss out the single tenant retails, which is the standalone building that you can put one tenant in it that can be leasing for a long term, like a Jack in the Box or a McDonald's, which is all around us in every city and actually worldwide. I've had students that learned this, read the book, and this one lady is in Malaysia, and she did it in Chinatown in Malaysia, and another person did it in France. And so it can be done anywhere in the world, not just in the US. That's why it's blue ocean, very little competition.
Blue ocean indeed. What is the most significant mental shift an investor or developer must make to move from competing in a crowded red ocean market, just like Class A office, to seeking a blue ocean spaces, Mr. Sharif?
So the idea is to look for example, specifically the standalone buildings that are vacant. So there is no one there leasing them. It could be that Starbucks left or Chick-fil-A left. So the building is standing vacant. Maybe the sellers want $795,000 and you can negotiate it at 700 because it's not bringing any income. And the person puts it under contract. I train people to do that. It made me millions personally. I put the deal under contract at 700,000. You automatically have 45 to 60 days due diligence. And during the due diligence period, I have created a list of national tenants. This is over 4,500 national tenants. And I just call them and tell them about the location, the traffic, the neighboring tenants. And all I need is one tenant to call me back and say, yes, we want to lease it for 10 to 15 years. Once we have a letter of intent from that tenant, that property that I have under contract at 700,000, with a national tenant coming in that's going to lease it for 10 to 15 years with escalations and corporate guarantee and triple net, meaning they pay the tax, insurance, and maintenance on top of the lease, the property goes from 700,000 to 1,200,000 or 1,300,000. And that increase in value allows me to put lower down payments, get the tenant in, and hold on to properties for many, many years. And then later I renew their lease or get another tenant, and it keeps getting better through the years. This is versus trying to buy a single family home that has many bids, or an apartment building. They want me to put so much upfront. I want me to qualify for these loans and then do rehab and have to have a whole type of accounting and bookkeeping and management team. This is simple, single tenant. I only need a bookkeeper at the end of the year to just do the taxes, and it's a very simple way to grow your wealth.
Interesting, Mr. Sharif. So your books suggests finding spaces where competition is irrelevant. In an industry as a capital intensive and data driven as CRE, where everyone is looking for an edge, it's a true blue ocean, even possible, or is it always temporary?
No, it's been actually blue ocean, and the evidence is during COVID when the market was difficult for many type of commercial properties where real estate that are multi-units were having hard time collecting from real estate tenants, storage facilities, multifamily, and hotels even were suffering. The ones that were performing best continued to be the actual QSR, quick service restaurants, because actually they laid off the staff and did ghost kitchen and started delivering food, which changed the market completely to Uber food, and all that incredible opportunity came up to another level, showing that that type of asset and the tenants you bring in will be very resilient in down markets. And if you do well in down markets, you do incredibly well in up markets. That continuity, that stability is what makes it blue ocean all the time.
A blue ocean indeed. Identifying and non-customers, Mr. Cherif. The classic blue ocean strategy talk about non-customers. Who are the biggest non-customers of traditional commercial real estate today? And what talent needs do they have that industry is ignoring?
So, well, so let's define who is the customer we're looking for. So we're identifying anybody can go in their backyard, 3 to 5 mile radius of where they live or where they work, and they will find some single tenant buildings. Those are the standalone buildings that are vacant. They'll find one or two or three or a bunch. And so who is the client they want to bring in? The client they want to bring in ideally will be a QSR, quick service restaurants like the Jack in the Box, the Starbucks, the Ben and Jerry's, etc. Because when they come in, they have to sign a long-term lease. They actually give a corporate guarantee, so the lease is guaranteed by the corporation. They do the lease triple net. That means if they say, I'm going to pay 80,000 a year or 100,000 a year, 100,000 a year is 83.33 per month. On top of that, they pay the property tax and the property insurance. So the owner of the property, once they identify a tenant that's interested, show them the property, they give them a few months free to arrange the location or give them maybe some money for tenant improvement. But that tenant comes in, and for years that after, they stay in the building. So I'm not looking for small tenants. I'm not looking for mom and pop. That's not my client. I'm looking for national companies as my main goal. If sometimes we're calling a national company, like we had a call the other day with a company called Inspire Company. They have 13 sub-brands. Carl's Jr. is under them. Sonic is under them. And they called us back and they said, we're very interested, but we have a franchisee. So somebody that operates under their license. That franchisee has 5 locations. It was outside Dallas. Has 5 locations, operating very well, and he will offer a guarantee of the 5 locations. So that tenant is okay as well. But so first client we look for, customer, is going to be the national tenants to lease to them because it's a strong corporate guarantee. Second type tier of tenants, we would accept maybe franchisees that have experience in several locations. And I try to avoid the small tenants, mom and pop, because it's like renting residential. Then, they default, the husband is sick, or the wife they want to leave or whatever. That is very risky. So we avoid that because we like the corporate guarantee. We like to collect steady income where the payment, let's say, is 5,000, but the income is 8,300 net. We net 3,300 a month and make cash on cash, maybe 15 to 20%. Very, very powerful. And my book is literally Blue Ocean Opportunities. I explained my journey, how I was a hotel manager and I worked for a billionaire, and I saw how he made hundreds of millions doing stuff like this. And I started thinking, wow, I could do the same thing. In the beginning, I put a property under contract, lined up a national tenant, and when they were ready to come in, I didn't have the money to buy the property, so I assigned it. It was a no-brainer. That property was $400,000 under contract. The national tenant coming was going to make it worth $700,000. So I assigned it, and I got $50,000, just my first deal, on that type of structure. And the rest is history. The rest I started buying. Right now, I'm the largest owner of historic properties in Old San Juan, Puerto Rico. And what I did is I went next to where the cruises arrive. I started getting buildings under contract because all the cruise traffic, millions of people walk by, put a property under contract, call the national tenants, tell them a specific script that I've written, get them attracted, sign the lease with them for 10, 15 years, and then get the property almost nothing down because the banks were very anxious to give me loans with the corporate guarantees because they knew they're going to get paid because the big tenants are the ones paying. And you can see my inventory at crepr.com. Like everybody can talk about their success, but I'll show people. And my education company switched when I wrote that book a few years ago to people telling me, okay, how can I do it? I want to do it. So it pushed me into creating a program for others, whether they're novice or they're experienced. I show them how to find these single tenant buildings, the 15 criteria we're looking for. And I took kind of the book to another level of how to talk to a broker. The brokers in real estate, commercial real estate, want to see proof of funds. So I have real estate funds. So what I do is I give the students that work with me the proof of funds. So when you talk to the broker, you say, we have $2 million. We're serious. We're making an offer at 650, 700, 800,000. They take us seriously. I give my students a list of tenants. They call on the tenants. They have a script. And all we need is one tenant to say, I'm interested. I want to talk details. And then I get on a conference call, on a Zoom call, like we're doing right now, Daniel. And I talk to the tenant, discuss how many years you want. Oh, you want 100,000 to come in, but you will pay a little bit more so we can help you with the rehab of the place the way you want. We will work it with you because the value of the property jumps and the income is phenomenal. And the student ends up assigning it to me. That's their first deal. They get to learn through doing it. They have no downside risk because even when they put the offer with the earnest money deposit from their pocket, they can put just 5,000. That's fully refundable for 45 to 60 days. They have no downside, but they have a huge upside with the assignment fee. And many people just do it. They don't assign to me. They just learn from me because I'm the one doing the trainings. And then they actually buy the properties and continue on their own. We've been doing this so successfully because people do the first deal with me, then they assign it. And then the second deal they do for themselves. So I have to go in that city and find some other people. So in every city, we have like 3-4 people that we work with. And once they start owning their own properties, we replace them with other people. So this book has really transformed not just my life, but so many other people.
Congratulations,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Cherif, for empowering all over the world.
Thank you.
So let's talk about the discovery and how to. What are the most reliable but overlooked data points or societal signals you look for to spot a nascent blue ocean opportunity before it becomes obvious to everyone else?
This is fantastic. Great question. So I believe in a process, and the process itself is 5 steps. And I call it the FACTS system, FACTS. The F is to how to find the right properties and how to find the right tenants that will fit for that property. Because you may want a medical facility over here, you may want a pharmacy here, you may want a food service over there. So finding the right property and finding the right tenant, that's part of the system, the F part. The A is how to analyze the numbers of that property to know what offer to make. How much should I make? They want 850, but I think I should not offer a penny more than 775. How did I come up with that? So analyzing the numbers, both for the property itself, intrinsically and extrinsically for the market that property is in. So that's the number 2 for the A. So find, analyze. Number 3 is how to control the property by negotiating the right terms with the broker without offending them, working with them, and signing the right paperwork that give us the 45 days due diligence, 15 days to close, to be able to inspect the property, create a little video, the process that we do for the controlling of the asset. And then number 4, how to time, for the T, how to time the process of the due diligence with the tenants and getting either the financing or the other person you're going to assign it to. They assign to me when I do the training, so they have already my proof of fund, and I do the negotiation with the tenants, etc. But if they want to do it with, let's say, get a loan with a hard money lender, because they'll get a loan for maybe 650, 700, but then the property would be worth 1,000,001, 1,000,002. So they can do that. So that timing of the due diligence with the tenants and the lining up the financing or the assignment. And then finally, the S, to strategize to make the most of the property, get the best tax deductions, and maybe later if you want to sell it, you can do a 1031 exchange into another one. So find, analyze, control, time the process, and strategize for maximum highest value for your exit or your holding period. I like to hold them, like in Puerto Rico, I've held them for years. In the US, when I buy and sell, I'm selling, I'm rolling the money forward to other properties, and that's how I grow with my students. And many of the students did it, the first deal, second deal, then they say, I want to create a real estate fund. So we set them up with a fund where they can get investors to invest with them. They can buy these properties cash because they pay 700 and it's worth a lot more. So they're able to pay cash flow and the upside is theirs. So it even pushed me to another level, which is going to be my next book, is how to set up the most profitable real estate funds where people invest with you in a safe, strategic, profitable manner. So that's just the next exciting thing in my life.
Good luck for that, Mr. Cherif. So, as the nation's number one commercial real estate best-selling author, what are your short-term and long-term goals?
Well, my short-term goal is to keep doing what I love most, which is teaching and investing. And my long-term goal is to really be able to be known as the guy who set up the most people financially free. People are so lost. People are constantly looking for something to do that will bring them money because everything is becoming more expensive. The cruise, if you're looking at cruises, for example, you could take a cruise for $3,000 per person 2 years ago. Today is $6,500 per person. How is that possible? I mean, we're filming this right before Valentine's Day. You can look at hotel rooms, how different they are from last year or the year before. You look at flights, how crazy they are. So money is like devaluing so fast. So unless you have brick and mortar asset, you have the proper careful leverage with the bank and corporate guarantees that keep every year paying 3% more, you're not going to be able to meet or beat inflation. Having just a job is not going to make it. 401k, by the time you're ready to cash out, the value of the money has decreased so much. You're going to pay taxes. You have to roll it somewhere else. It's just a real mess when it comes to how people handle their life. So that's what I'd like to, as a long-term goal, be known for, is that I have given people strategies and systems and participated with them in a joint venture, if you will, showing them, here, I'll give you the proof of fund, I'll give you the training, I'll give you this. You want to assign it to me? Great. You don't want to? Fine. Do it for yourself or work with a hard money lender or sell it, assign it. And that's the real thing that you feel at the end of life. I am valuable because I helped others, not because I made money, but my contribution to society has been phenomenal.
And thank you for sharing your legacy to the world, Mr.
Thank you.
Cherif, and good luck to your goals and looking forward for more success. And what
Thank
would be your piece of advice for those people out there who want to be like you?
Well, for those who want to make it happen, check out, I have a lot of free videos on YouTube. I have over 3,000 free videos because I know I'm trying to give people what I wish somebody gave me. But I was lucky enough really that I was working in a hotel and a billionaire in the name of Edmond Bessari identified me as a hard worker and saw potential in me. And he said, you know what? Why don't you come and work for me? I will show you how to do this. I'll show you how to do that. And I went and worked for him for 8 years. So really my goal, my legacy is to be able to give to others what they want that I wish somebody gave me early on, the details, because I was working for him and I had to deduce the formulas to be able to make it on my own. And that's what I'm trying now to continue giving others. So hopefully that becomes a true, we have over 1,000 video success stories on YouTube. So hopefully we'll continue that.
Yes, and thank you for that empowering advice. Mr. Cherif, so can you please recommend a book or books that influence your journey?
Oh, yes. Actually, the book that influenced me most, ironically, is a book called The Terrible Truth About Lawyers. The Terrible Truth About Lawyers is written by Mark McCormack. He is the gentleman that was an attorney that wrote the book, What They Don't Teach You at Harvard Business School. But his other book that is less known is What They Don't Teach You about lawyers. His book is called The Terrible Truth About Lawyers. And he talks about how to deal with lawyers, how they can actually position things to their advantage for billable hours, how you can write, instead of a 40-page agreement, you can write 3 paragraphs and it has the same power. That book impacted me so much that I started taking ownership of the contracts and agreements I write with others to make them a win-win. And I educate people. Say, the reason I'm writing it this way so I can protect you as well. The reason we're structuring it like this. And when people saw that there is a sincerity in my win-win, because I knew if they go to their lawyer and I go to my lawyer, the lawyers are going to try to protect each party and end up bumping heads and more billable hours, more tension. That book is really impactful, especially for those who deal with lawyers or deal with transactions or partnerships. And in real estate, it is vital to understand and read that book.
Thank you for that recommended book, Mr. Cherif. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And the boldest prediction. Looking a decade ahead, what is the mainstream CRE asset or practice today that you believe you will see as a stagnant red ocean and that will be replaced?
So it's a great question. So people always look at what's going to change, what's going to change. I am always looking for what's going to stay the same. What's going to stay the same is people like to go out. They like to eat. They have to eat. They have to actually go and visit places to physically take food and eat it, not just deliver. This has to happen because if they're in offices, they may want to go downstairs to have a meeting. So I like the concept of these single tenant buildings because they put certain tenants that are going to stay long term. The survival of most of these national tenants that do food services or medical clinics or car tires and Jiffy Lube, etc. The survival of these is going to continue for a long, long time. So I think in the future, AI, especially in places where they're going to quickly implement AI, there will be some changes. So I told you about what's going to continue. Let's talk about changes. If you look at a video in the 80s, the biggest impact was like Steve Jobs with the computer, Microsoft with Bill Gates coming up, and there was a bonanza. If you look at prices of properties in California from 1980 to 1990, a 10-year period, the properties doubled and doubled again. It was 150,000 average home. You can look up this. It became over 475,000 by the end of the decade. I mean, and this is just average home just going up. So if you would have bought something and put a small down payment or even 50% down, you'd have become very rich because the market was growing with these softwares and computers. Then you look right after that when internet started, those who understood internet and maximized on it, people that became so wealthy like Jeff Bezos and Dell Computers, etc., made a killing with that next wave. And now AI is coming and is coming so fast. I was just looking this morning at how many companies laid off people. I mean, UPS, American Express, the post office is even laying off people. Why? Because now people are able to do stuff with AI that needed 2-3 employees. Facebook keeps hiring and laying off people. They just laid off 11,000 people. You can look it up. And last year in 2025, 157,000 people were laid off in the state of California. More than that in Washington, D.C. itself. So with all these layoffs, we haven't even gotten into robots, which is going to happen in 2027, 2028. Imagine how many jobs will change. So people who don't know how to create their own wealth, don't know how to ride the wave of AI and robotics and where the future is coming will be eaten alive. The only consistent thing is that it will need to be buildings because they have to house their offices. They need to be places to serve the foods. They need to be places to service the cars. So stay grounded with real estate. Understand the wave of this technology and how you can ride it as well. And that will be the perfect balance of what's continuing and what's changing. And you marry both and you make it absolute killing. 'Killing. 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 '
Well, thank you for that prediction, Mr. Sharif. But before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in sixth season. Abstract poetry in third season. I'm a book 101 review in sixth season two, comedy 101 in third season, and my food 101 in sixth season as well. Geography 101, love letters, a movie 101 review, music 101 are fifth season, Science 101, Sex 101 in its fourth season, Spiritual Awakening, Trivia 101, Law 101, Mental Health 101, Motivation 101, Entrepreneurship 101, and of course, my Bible Verses 101 are my baby podcasts. So please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Mr. Sharif, after finishing your book, what is the single most actionable first step you want seasoned CRE professional to take to begin their own blue ocean exploration on Monday morning?
So, on commercial real estate, the first thing you do after you listen to this interview with me is go out there, and as you go to work or go pick up the kids from somewhere, look, is there any single tenant buildings that are vacant in your area? And once you see one, do you think you can call the broker and ask for how much they want for the building? Do you think if I give you a list of tenants and you call on them and follow the message and the script, you will be able to make it happen? You will know that you can become very, very wealthy doing this. And one deal will change your life.
Certainly. And Mr. Sharif, again, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. So can you please invite our listeners to support your book, your advocacy, your business, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
Yes, they can go to cherifmedawar.com or www.cmrei.com, Cherif Medawar Real Estate Investing.com. I'm on Instagram also at Cherif Medawar, which is C like Charlie, HERIF MEDAWAR. I look forward to knowing your database and your people, and thank you for the time.
Yes, definitely. People, let's support Mr. Cherif Medawar, because if you support him, for sure, more and more blue ocean opportunities will rise. I have one more question, Mr. Cherif. Does the urban planning concept of the 15-minute city represent a systemic blue ocean for CRE, requiring a complete rebuilding of uses and services on one location?
I didn't understand the question. Would you repeat it? Sorry.
Yes. So the 15-minute city as a blue ocean. Does the urban planning concept of the 15-minute city represent a systemic blue ocean for CRE?
I am not sure I know. I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Okay. So, Mr. Sharif, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
What can people see you soon?